Alright, what is going on, guys? And today we're talking WWE Monday Night Raw. We're going to be going through the results, and I'm going to give you guys my review on the show. So Evolution starts the show, and Triple H says they think they won, but they will continue to fight until the Shield ceases to exist. He says that will happen tonight, but Batista says he is sick of the Shield, and he wants the title shot he deserves and was promised. Triple H says he is a leader, but Batista says he doesn't care because he came back to do what he was told, so he wants his match tonight. Triple H reminds him Daniel Bryan is injured, and he takes a dig and says Batista would choke even if Bryan was healthy, and there is always a plan. He says he won't be remembered as a guy who can't end a fight, and once they take the Shield down, they can have whatever they want. Triple H says until that time, no one is getting anything, so Batista says he understands and quits, then walks out. Triple H flips out and tells him to run to Hollywood, but don't come back when he flops. Then he slams the mic down and Orton shakes his head. Batista is stopped backstage and asked to comment on what just happened, and he says he is sick of all of the empty promises and lies, so he quit. The opening contest was the United States champion Sheamus and Rob Van Dam taking on Cesaro and the Intercontinental champ Bad News Barrett. Sheamus heads right up top and hits a battering ram to start things off, so then Cesaro hits a gut-wrench slam, but Sheamus comes back with the tackle. RVD tags in and connects with a few strikes, then he charges the corner, but Wade drops him with a clothesline as we go to a commercial break. We then get back to see Cesaro apply a side headlock, but RVD breaks it, only to have Wade make the tag and elbow RVD, sending him to the floor. Cesaro whips RVD headfirst into the barricade, then he hits him a few times before RVD kicks him and tags out, and Sheamus connects with a few knee lifts. Sheamus catches Wade with a power slam, then he dumps Cesaro on his head and calls for a brogue kick. Heyman jumps up from commentary and pulls Cesaro out of the ring, then Wade hits Winds of Change as Cesaro and Heyman end up leaving. Wade gets pissed but calls for Wasteland, then Sheamus breaks free and brogue kicks him with RVD getting the tag and a 5-star frog splash for the win. In my opinion, this is a pretty good opening to the show. I hope this leads to something, maybe a 4 corners match with both titles on the line. That would be a smart idea, but we'll probably get a Money in the Bank match with no title defenses at the pay-per-view. Next thing, Damian Sandow comes out in a Pacers jersey and pretends to be Lance Stevenson of the Pacers. Then he mocks the team for losing in the playoffs. He goofs around and says he will show his skills, then he dribbles and shoots at a hoop before Big Show cuts him off. Sandow mocks him and tells him to try and score on him, so Show throws the ball at his stomach and knocks him out before dunking the ball. My opinion on this segment, it's cheap heat, and it's a waste of time in my opinion. Sandow's other gimmicks have been funny, but I didn't find this one to be that great. The next match was Kofi Kingston versus Bo Dallas in what should have happened last night at Payback. Kofi starts off hitting a few drop kicks and a quick elbow, then he blocks a kick by Bo and kicks him in the face. Dallas comes back with a neckbreaker, backdrops Kofi and puts him in a 3/4 face lock, but Kofi shoves him into the turnbuckles. Kofi drop kicks him and monkey flips him, then he hits a springboard crossbody for a near fall before kicking him in the face. Kofi goes for some mounted punches, but Bo drops him throat first on the ropes, then he hits a Bo Dog for the win. And this, of course, went on to continue Bo Dallas' undefeated streak, and I am a Bo-liever. Next thing, this is at the hour. Stephanie McMahon comes out and calls Daniel Bryan a pathetic little man, and she says he let his wife take the fall for him last night. She says Brie put her hands on her a few weeks ago, and she should have fired Brie, but she let it go, and Brie slapped her last night in return. Stephanie says she is sick of talking about the two of them, so she has some news that is bigger than them, and that's the title itself. She says Bryan will defend the WWE World Heavyweight title against Kane at Money in the Bank if he can compete, and if he can't, the latter match will end up becoming for the vacant title. John Cena comes out, and Stephanie says his match last night was incredible, but Cena says he doesn't think he's seen the end of Bray yet. He says he knows a little bit about forfeiting titles, and no man is bigger than the title. Cena says he knows she doesn't like Bryan, but he is really good, and he proves he is championship material every time he is in the ring. He says the Authority took the title from Bryan and tried to hold him back at every stop, and Bryan won't surrender the title because he is scared of being removed from WWE. Stephanie says she makes the best decisions no matter what the reaction is, but Cena says she is letting personal feelings get in the way and is doing a terrible job. She says she doesn't care what they all think, but she gives plenty of opportunities to Bryan and everyone else, so she will give Cena an opportunity right now. She books him in a match versus Kane right now, and then she says Payback is a bitch, but so is she. So then we have John Cena versus Kane. Kane hits Cena a few times and slams him on the mat. Then Cena drop kicks him and hits a sit outside slam, hits a 5-knuckle shuffle, goes for an AA, but Kane elbows him in the face and repeatedly knees him until the ref calls for the bell. Kane continues the attack after the match has ended, hitting Cena on the floor before he tries to tombstone him on the steel steps. Cena breaks free, throws the steps in Kane's face, then he leaves with some referees, but Kane continues to flip out and throws some stuff before leaving. In my opinion, this was a kind of weak segment. We've seen John Cena beat Kane plenty of times before, and this doesn't really do anything to build Kane up. The segment with Stephanie was a pretty good back and forth, but the short match was weak. Next up, we had Los Matadores versus Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater. 3MB comes out, says Hornswoggle used a lot of Miracle Grow to keep his hair. Then he comes out wearing an afro wig, and Matadores laugh at him. Slater hits Diego a few times, knocks him down, then Slater and Hornswoggle play air guitar together on the apron. Torito runs over and pulls Hornswoggle's wig off, and Hornswoggle covers up and runs away. Then Diego uses the distraction to roll Slater up for the win. This was a waste of a segment once again, in my opinion. It could have been a simple promo, or at least a bit more of a match. At least they didn't drag out seeing Hornswoggle's haircut for weeks, although it looks the same as it did last night. Next up, we had Nikki Bella in a handicap match, taking on Alicia Fox and Oksana. Alicia starts off by hitting Nikki and throws her in the corner, then Nikki elbows her, but Oksana takes a cheap shot, so Nikki knocks her on the apron. Nikki goes for a roll-up, but Alicia kicks out, then she hits a scissor kick for the win. Alicia then throws Nikki through the ropes, and then she runs the ropes a few times and taunts the crowd. She hits Nikki with a backbreaker on the floor, then she whips her head first into the barricade before leaving. Next up, we had the continued feud between Jack Swagger and Adam Rose, and they faced off one-on-one. Rose starts off by smacking Swagger's backside and hits an elbow off the ropes, then he connects with some European uppercuts before Swagger kicks him in the face. Swagger slams Rose into the turnbuckles and hits a belly-to-belly suplex, then Rose comes back with some jabs and an atomic drop. Rose hits a swinging neckbreaker and a Bronco Buster, then he follows with the party foul for the win. In this match, Rose, he wrestled a good match tonight, just like he did on NXT TakeOver last week. He needs to work, in my opinion, he needs to work the same style, because his character alone, his party gimmick, will not get him over with the whole WWE universe. It works in NXT, but it's not going to work in WWE, even though it is a good one. Now we're at the top of the hour once again, and we have Luke Harper and Eric Rowan taking on the Usos. Jimmy hits Harper with a crossbody, and Jay connects with some mounted punches. Then he tags Harper with an uppercut and whips him. Harper reverses it and hits a crossbody, then Rowan knees Jay's ribs and gets a near fall after he falls on Jay due to a missed scoop slam. Harper assists with some elbow drops, then Rowan tries to slam him, but Jay kicks him and Jimmy tags in and drop kicks him in the face. Jimmy then blocks a backdrop and drop kicks Rowan out to the floor, then Jay assists with a double drop kick, sending Harper outside and into the announce table. We get back from a commercial break to see Rowan headbutting Jay on the apron, then he knocks Jimmy down and sends him into the corner, but Jimmy kicks him and knocks him down before hitting a moonsault. Jay gets the tag, connects with a flying forearm to Harper, then he connects with a spinning enziguri and follows with the diving corner leg lariat. Rowan breaks up the pin, and Harper hits a big boot for a 2 count. Jay comes back, missile drop kick and a Samoan drop before heading up top. He shifts direction, ends up splashes Rowan on the floor, then Harper hits a suicide dive, but Jimmy follows suit and takes him out with a diving crossbody. Jay rolls Harper back in, goes for a big splash, but Harper gets his knees up and sets up a lariat, but Jay counters with a super kick for a 2 count. Rowan blind tags in as Jimmy gets dumped outside, then Jay tries to super kick him, but Rowan blocks it and hits a sidewalk slam for the win. This was definitely a good match that we saw out of these competitors to kick off this third hour after a pretty lousy second hour. The only thing that I can clearly remember from that is the segment at the top of the hour with Stephanie McMahon and John Cena. The match did get more exciting as it continued. Hopefully the eventual title match between these two gets a lot of my attention, because I think it definitely will be a good one. Next up, then, we had a Money in the Bank qualifying match between Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph starts off by taking Del Rio down and connects with several elbow drops. Then Del Rio jumps down on Dolph's arm, follows with a step-up enziguri. Del Rio punches him a few times and slams him on the mat. Then he chokes him on the ropes and follows with a back suplex. Del Rio applies an armbar, but Dolph breaks it and kicks Del Rio's knees, then hits a famouser for 2 before Del Rio hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. He knees Dolph a few times, heads up top. Dolph leaps up, hits a super face buster for a 2 count, but Del Rio counters the zigzag and makes him tap out to the cross arm breaker. So Del Rio qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Next up, we had Ryback Soul versus Goldust and Sin Cara, which Sin Cara was the pick of Cody Rhodes for his new partner. Goldust hits an atomic drop, Axel arm drags him and kicks him, with Ryback getting the tag before Goldust knocks him on the mat. Cara tags in and gets a dropkick for a 2, then Goldust gets back in and goes for a clothesline, but Ryback ducks and hits a shoulder tackle. Ryback hits him a few times before Axel assists with the tandem suplex, then he applies a headlock, but Goldust breaks it, so Axel drop kicks him. Axel connects with a double sledge, then Ryback goes for 1, but Goldust hits him on the way down and makes a tag. Sin Cara connects with a springboard crossbody and a back handspring elbow to Axel, then Goldust throws Ryback onto the apron when he tries to interfere. Sin Cara leaps off the top rope, but Axel rolls away, then he hits a hangman's facebuster for the win. Based off this segment, we'll probably see this a few times before Cody officially turns on Goldust. Ryback once again gets another win to keep building their profile, and it looks like Sin Cara is sort of being repaired as well, and this was definitely a good use of time. In the next segment, Lana came out and says they honor heroes in Russia, and they will have a ceremony for Rusev, who comes out waving a flag. He stands on a platform in the ring, and Lana demands that the fans show respect and they should stop the USA chants for this award presentation. She introduces a Russian official who presents Rusev with a Gold Star Award, then Rusev cuts a promo in Russian, and Lana tells them all to stand up for the Russian national anthem. In my opinion, this segment was kind of pointless as there was no interference at all from Big E or any face, and the crowd just kind of crapped on this segment. But next up, though, we had the main event, which was Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns. Ambrose comes out and starts saying they look pretty good for the fight they got into, but they prevailed, and everyone witnessed the implosion of Evolution. Rollins says they were victorious because they beat a group of individuals. Then Reigns says they are a group and they were the ones to adapt. He says Evolution is done, so Randy Orton should come out there and get punched by a symbol of excellence, referencing his Superman punch. Orton and Hunter come out to the ringside area, and Triple H says there's always a plan B, and he doesn't lose the war. He holds up a sledgehammer and goes to get in the ring, then the Shield stand ready to fight, and Rollins grabs some chairs. Rollins then betrays Reigns and hits him in the back with it, then he attacks a shocked Ambrose and curb stomps him on it. Rollins repeatedly hits them with the chair, then he hands Orton another one, and he drops Reigns with an RKO on it before Triple H celebrates with Orton and Rollins. So it looks like the new member of Evolution is Seth Rollins to take the place of the man who just quit, Batista. That was Monday Night Raw. I don't really understand why they're having the Shield break up at this point after they're looking so strong, but I guess we'll just have to see as it comes in the few weeks here. Thank you guys all for listening to this WWE Monday Night Raw results and review video. Hit the like button down below, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.